Roman Vidfeld, and thank you guys. I know it's lunch, and I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank Dan Selkowitz from my team for putting this together, as well as Stacy from Source Media for getting this great lunch together at such a short notice. I believe that the right opportunity and getting the right opportunity to the right people at the right time is when great things really happen, right? And so when it comes to sales, that is a major thing that we all strive for. We can have the best product in the world, but if it's not presented at the right time, it doesn't make sense. And so when I found Conversica, it really truly spoke to me. Conversica is the first artificial intelligence sales assistant out there. And it's, what does it do? It creates the opportunity, it creates the atmosphere to get the right opportunity to the right people at the right time, as I just mentioned. People say that a picture's worth 1,000 words, so the best thing to do, I think, is for me to show you actually a video of exactly what it does and what it truly is, because it's something that's unique and something that you probably have definitely haven't seen before, which is artificial intelligence applied to the sales process. So there's other artificial intelligence technology out there, but it's really applied to customer service and things of that nature. There's really nothing out there that applies it directly to the sales process. And when it is applied to the sales process, the results are truly unbelievable. So please take a look at the video that I'm about to show you.
I'm Ben Brigham, and I founded Conversica. We created Conversica to solve a really simple problem, so that salespeople could spend their time talking to the right people at the right time.
One of the classic problems that every salesperson has is, how do I prioritize my time? Even if it's a relatively small amount of leads, still knowing where you put your time and energy to increase your closing rate is a hard challenge. Conversica uses an artificial intelligence-powered sales assistant to engage leads, qualify those leads, and elevate the most promising leads directly to the attention of a salesperson.
A lot of people think that AI works by identifying keywords. Our AI actually looks at the whole message and understands the meaning or meanings contained within that, and then chooses the correct action based on that interpretation.
Our virtual assistant, she starts a real conversation with the customer, and she asks him whether he's interested or whether a particular email to reach him at. She never gets tired. She has all her focus on one customer at a time, and she does it all day long, and she keeps track of it. We actually tuned how our virtual assistant interacts with our customers over the many years we've been doing this. We have hundreds of millions of messages. We know what consumers respond to. We make sure she's not rude, she's very attentive. She kind of says the right thing at the right time. Doesn't hit them too hard, warms them up a little bit, then brings them in.
What's great about Conversica is we call her Stephanie. She's the best employee we have. I don't know what our business would be like without Stephanie. She reaches out to everyone who's inquired consistently, so no one gets left behind. Stephanie engages with our customers. Without her being involved, I really believe that we would lose opportunities.
We absolutely designed it from the ground up to work with whatever email system you use or whatever CRM, marketing automation system. You just select what you want to name your persona, their work hours, their title, and then what they're going to be responding to. Basically, where the leads came from helps to determine what the conversation is going to be.
Artificial intelligence is a technology that works now. Conversica is using it with hundreds of customers, empowering thousands of salespeople and millions of interactions.
Ultimately, it's going to help close with that. Bottom line is that our customers will be engaged, talking with back and forth more of their prospective customers, and that will lead to more sales.
So let me tell you why I'm standing here in front of you today. I'm clearly not the founder of Conversica. I'm not the CEO of Conversica. I'm not the president of Conversica. I discovered Conversica in a truly serendipitous way. People refer to it as kismet or bashert, whatever it may be. But I was walking through a convention, and I actually was there for a completely different reason. I actually still have a a merchant cash advance ISO. And at the time, I was in business for about a year. Prior to starting that ISO, I actually built a sales organization, a completely different vertical, and we had 900 employees and did about $30 million in revenue. And when I got out of that business, I started this ISO, got into the merchant cash advance business. And at the time, we had about 16 openers, 5 chasers, 3 closers, and we were doing roughly about $1 million a month in origination. And we were maybe breaking even, maybe losing a little bit of money just for the sake of being able to syndicate on those deals. And so I was at LeadsCon and I stumbled upon Conversica. And I gave it a shot. I implemented it into my business. And when I saw the results that it provided for me, I like to say I'm not only the Hair Club president, I'm also a client. I actually went out and got the rights to sell Conversica to the finance industry. And so what did it do for my business? In my business, it allowed me to still do $1 million a month in origination, which is what we're doing now. But now I'm doing those same numbers with 3 chasers and 1 closer. I was able to downsize my sales team by 85% while maintaining the same numbers. So when I saw that, I was in shock. And so I said, this is something that I need to bring to the finance industry. And so let me go through it and show you and start off with the numbers. I mean, this is a finance convention. Everybody's a numbers person here. So Conversica has been around for 9 years. For 7 out of those 9 years, they've been focused on the auto industry. So car dealerships, getting people into the car dealership. For the last 2 years, they started branching out into other verticals. And I'll show you some of the companies that are currently using them, and you will be surprised how far they've come in such a short time. But as you can see, Conversica has sent out 223 million messages with 15,000 reps using their product. Now, this next part here, which is 38% deliverability. When I say that there's not deliverability, I apologize, 38% engagement rate. Their deliverability is actually 99%. Now, the marketing people in this room, I was actually sitting next to somebody yesterday, and when I told them those numbers, they had a look of disbelief, on their face. And I understand, right? 38% engagement rate, meaning that 38% of the people actually respond back to the messages. And, how could that be, right? Because when you use marketing automation platforms and marketing automation tools, if you get 3 to 5% response rate, well, you're a hero. That's a grand slam home run of a campaign. And quite frankly, if you get 3 to 5% open rate, you're doing something right. And the reason is because of how Conversica works. Conversica, the first thing you will do, as you saw in the video, is create an avatar. And when you create this avatar, she will communicate with your leads on a one-to-one personalized level. And so, what does that mean? People do not feel bad ignoring marketing messages from a sales guy, which is what drip campaigns do, which we do not compete with, by the way, and we integrate with all of those services. What this does is creates a personalized message from what people perceive to be a, male or female preferably, because people are 55% more likely to respond to a female assistant than a male assistant, reaching out to you in a nice, polite, persistent manner over a course of 30 days with 7 independent emails. And so, what happens usually with the leads that we have? They're either undertouched, underworked, or underscored, right? And so undertouched means that people will, in order to work a lead properly, you need to contact it anywhere between 8 to 12 times. As opposed to a regular salesperson gives up after 2 to 3 times, because guess what? They're going on to the next hot lead, they're skimming the cream off the top, and they're moving on to the next one. And so, now those leads become underworked because you take those leads and they're there as dead weight. Best case scenario, companies that are really on top of their game and marketing professionals, which I'm sure everybody in this room is, maybe you reach out to them again via phone call later on. Maybe you have some drip campaigns with marketing automation that continue to reach out to them, right? But again, as we said, we're talking about 3 to 5% at best case scenario, and most of the time, we're talking about sub 1%. Some of the leads that we're looking to go after, which, you know, underscored, are customers that they have no use for your, they're not your customer. You know what I mean? They just have no use either for your service, or you don't want to offer them your service because they do not qualify. And here are some companies that when Conversica engaged with them, were experiencing those issues. So there's always a missing link, and there's always has been, and continues to be, a missing link between marketing and sales in two ways. Number one, there are software out there for marketing. And as you can see, you know, a number of them out there. You know, Marketo, Eloqua, Pardot, HubSpot, all of which that we integrate with actually, because we are not their competitors. On the other side, on the sales side, there's also a ton of sales technology like Inside Sales and Salesforce. Also, we integrate with all of them because we are not their competitor. We bridge the gap, because what happens with the lead that marketing originates and sales follows up, and then they follow up but there's no response? Well, there's no really good way to efficiently go after those leads. And there's an age-old situation that arises where marketing says, well, we're giving sales all of these great leads, and yet sales is not following up on them. And sales says, well, we'd be doing a ton more sales, but marketing is giving us all these garbage leads. And Conversica is that missing link that bridges the two. And I will show you how it does that. So imagine you gave all of your salespeople an assistant that will reach out up to 7 times to every single lead out there that's cold, that has unlimited bandwidth, that doesn't call out, doesn't get sick, that feels like a person, that can distinguish the leads between the ones that are interested and the ones that are not. And that's what Conversica does. It is the only two-way email communication software out there. It is the only communication out there with a brain. And so, this is what a typical message would look like. She would say, you know, Susan, I'm Claire. I see that you requested our application for funding. Would you like more information? And so if the person responds and says, no, I'm not interested, then the conversation stops. The messages are 100% can spam compliant. However, there's no unsubscribe on the bottom. It doesn't look or feel like a marketing email. It is a personalized message from your artificial intelligence sales assistant. Now, on the other hand, if the person responds and says, hi Claire, thanks for following up. Yes, I'd like to learn more about your funding program. Right away, your assistant is able to understand what the message means and automatically send out the second series of messages, which we call appointment. And it says, can I have a salesperson contact you? Is 650-555-1212 the best number at which to reach you on? Now, at that second series of emails, your assistant will introduce the salesperson either as a group or by name, depending on how you assign it, and verify the phone number that you have on file. If you do not have a phone number on file, she will ask for the best number to reach the person on. And here the person responds and says, yes, that would be great, but a better number would be 650-55-1111. Well, now your salesperson knows who they need to follow up with, that the person is interested, and they're not wasting their time following up on cold leads. Now, the next thing that will happen is the people who are interested and give us the phone number and all of that, 2 days later, she will actually follow up again. And in the third series of email, she will ask if the salesperson actually contacted the client. Now, if the person says, yes, we've been contacted, she marks the lead as complete. The conversation is done, she did her job, and so did your salesperson. Now, on the other hand, if the person says, you know what, I haven't heard from anyone, nobody contacted me, she's going to mark it as a lead at risk, let the salesperson know, hey, you didn't contact them, you didn't get in touch with them, it's a lead at risk, and then let management know and give management a dashboard to show that, you know what, 80% of the people are saying that they've been contacted by John, but only 20% are saying that they've been contacted by Jim. So you're obviously having some sort of disconnect and some sort of problem. Here are the customers that are currently using Conversica. And you see, Fortune 500 companies like IBM and Microsoft and, HP, Oracle, Five9, which is, I don't know if they're on there, but they're right there. One of the top, automated phone companies, dialer companies out there is actually using this to sell their service. Here are some testimonials about clients that, have seen the wonders of what Conversica can do for them. LA Film School increased their lead generation and revenue by over 33%. BombBomb increased their lead conversion by 43% in less than 6 months. And Bonitasoft increased their qualified sales leads by 380%. Now, to me, again, this isn't some stories and and maybes and could be's. I personally use this, and because it did what it did, and because it's truly a revolutionary product that I believe in, that provides, again, the opportunity in front of the right person at the right time is what this is all about, right? That's how business deals happen. And so when I saw what it does, that's why we're here. Now, people get kind of, nervous about, well, it sounds great, but the integration process must be a nightmare, and, how long will it take? The integration process is very simple. This works as both a standalone, as well as integrates with, as I mentioned, Salesforce, a slew of marketing automation systems like Pardot, Eloqua, HubSpot, Marketo, etc. And you will be up and running within 2 weeks. The process is very simple. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a subdomain on your email server, because Conversica is going to be the one that's going to physically send out the emails. Because they have companies like you saw sending out millions of messages, the ESPs white label them, and they have 99% deliverability, because you can't get the person to respond if it doesn't get into your inbox. Well, marketing messages get caught in spam all the time, as well as in the case of Google, for example, it goes into a completely separate mailbox. Well, these are personalized messages that are being delivered on your behalf. So now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you actual examples of some of my conversations. And this is what the message looks like, and this is exactly what happened. So here, an email gets sent out saying, "Hello, Danny. I see that you showed interest in Assure Funding," which is my ISO. "I want to check in with you. Would you like to learn more? Looking forward to your reply, Jenna Silva." Now, Jenna Silva is my #1 employee. When I first started how this was, working and everything else, my wife was getting a little bit jealous of the other woman in my life, to tell you the truth, because it was unbelievable, the performance that I saw. And in this case, the person says that the person doesn't respond. So now on the 8th, the 10th, the 13th, 16th, and 20th, another message goes out. Now the distance between the messages is being done by machine learning. So the time span between the messages will change as it grows and learns your clients. The messages, as you see, are all natural language. This one template on top that you see there will allow the artificial intelligence to generate all the other messages. So once you come up with one template, which is based on where the people are in the sales cycle, it will create the rest of the messages. Because it doesn't matter whether you're upselling, business loans, or you're upselling personal loans, or you're upselling shoes. Upsell is an upsell is an upsell. And the conversation goes as follows. So in this case, the person says, "Hi there, no longer interested, thank you." At that point, the conversation stops. You get notified that the person is not interested, and we move on. Now, look what happens if, on the other hand, the person is interested. So here the person says, "Hi there, I see that you recently expressed interest in Assure Funding, so I want to check in with you. Would you like me to help you set up a call to learn more?" Again, no response on the 8th. Or the 7th, and so on the 10th, another message goes out. "Hello there, I reached out a few times, and for one reason or another, I haven't been able to connect. I just wanted to check in with you regarding the interest you have shown in our services. Can I help you schedule a call to learn more?" And so on the 11th at 5:08 p.m., we get a response saying, "Please let me know what I need to submit to see if we are qualified." Now, At that point, she understands that this is a hot lead. Now I want to bring your attention to something interesting. So here, she says, my people, when they entered the lead, they entered it as Vladislav/Lena, because these are old leads that were generated by my openers. And so any other email system out there would have simply mail merged it, and the whole psychology behind it of people feeling bad, ignoring, you know, a true person, an assistant who's trying to do a good job, would have been blown out the box, and this would have been seen as some sort of other marketing chatbot type of situation, and the results would have not been what they needed to be. But Conversica, as I mentioned, is artificial intelligence and is smart. So she was able to identify the fact that my people made a mistake and correct it by saying hi there and not referring to the person by the wrong name. So now when that happened, the second, as I mentioned to you, in the series of emails goes out. So she identifies that they're interested, and now she sends out another message 4 minutes later saying, hi there, Richard is happy to help and would like to give you a call. Would you like us to reach you at 916-225-2292? Now Richard is the salesperson that this lead is assigned to, and this is the phone number that we have on file. As I mentioned, if the if the phone number was not on file, then she would ask for the best number to reach him on. Now, 2 minutes later, Richard gets a notification saying, hey Richard, you need to follow up on this lead, and here's what the person said. Here's what that message looks like. This is an email, an actual email that we received a few days ago, and what your salespeople will receive. It's a hot lead. The objective for Jenna is to verify interest. The message is to ask if they're still interested. The response, Jenna, yes, please send it along to us. Thanks, Scott, Jordan, whatever the case is. So here you go. Her next action, when she says my next action, she means her, is I'm going to contact the lead again. Your next action is to review the response. She's going to go ahead and verify, up next verifying the phone number, ask if the number we have on file is the best, or if the number that we are, what is the best number to reach them on. The message is going to go out on September 26th at 9:47 a.m. And your person's able to see the first name, last name, if we have it, phone number, the conversation type. They're also able to click on it, open up the email, and see the complete conversation. So let's go back to the message that we were looking at before. The person says yes. Again, an alert goes out a couple of minutes later, because anytime anybody responds to anything, we get notified. And at that point, that was on April 11th. On April 13th, so 2 days later, the follow-up message goes out. And it says, hi there, just wanted to follow up to see if you received the information you were looking for. Did you connect with Richard? And so here the person says, yes, we contacted with him. So it's done, it's over, the conversation is done. On the other hand, as I mentioned, if the person responds that they were not contacted, like in this situation where it says negative to all, your salesperson gets a message like this, saying, hey, this is a lead at risk. As well as in the dashboard, there is the ability for you to see person by person who is having interested conversations and who's getting the leads at risk. The conversations, there are some core conversations, as well as we're constantly developing new ones, and if there's any need for a specific use for anybody in this room, we can continue to discuss that. Some of the conversations that we have that I think could be really useful to you is starting with inbound. Inbound is meant to contact your leads that expressed interest in your service and have gone cold over the last 30 days. The other one that I think is very useful is you guys are all sitting on millions of dollars worth of people that expressed interest in your service and then went cold. This is the invention of fracking for the lead industry, right? Before fracking, there was cheap oil that we can get to, and there were billions of dollars locked up that we could not get to of oil. And with fracking, all those billions of dollars were unlocked. This is an opportunity for you to unlock the millions of dollars that you're sitting on leads that you cannot properly, engage the way you're doing it now, or not as effectively. The other one is upsell. Everybody here, with the skyrocketing acquisition cost of, of customers, you need to sell them extra products. I mean, everybody does it to the point of, look what happened, with Wells Fargo, right? They upsold so much that, they had some issues. I can tell you that the artificial intelligence would not have opened up 2 million accounts. I can assure you that. 2 million fake accounts would not have been opened up had Conversica done that. So that's what it's all about, right? Automation at the highest level. So this will allow you to increase your sales productivity, to create more opportunities, to improve your lead quality, to enhance your ROI. I welcome you guys to stop by our booth, sign up for a free demo as well as a free trial today. We will give you a free trial, you will see the results, and then we are confident that you will become our customer. Thank you. Any questions? Please.
What's the pricing model?
The pricing model, very good. The pricing model is based on the number of conversation types you're going to be using. So, for example, an engage versus an upsell, as I mentioned, where they are in the sales cycle, as well as the number of leads that you're going to be engaging on a monthly basis, right? So it ranges between a few $1,000s a month and can be either based on the number of conversation types or based on the number of leads that you're going to be engaging.
Is there a particular sales process that this is really geared towards? I'm thinking in terms of this one end is the commodity sale, where from a lender, balance, interest rate, terms, pretty straightforward, a room full of water with so many moving variables, versus you got IBM on there, where after you got a 4 or 5 year sales cycle, specifications, engineers, RFPs, RFXs, it goes on forever.
Sure. This is geared to getting your salespeople in front of, the right people at the right time, as I keep saying over and over again, right? So if your sales cycle happens to take a year, it needs to start somewhere, right? So this is that first step. So you get 100 leads from your sales department, from your marketing department, your salespeople engage them, maybe they get, 5 of those leads to move forward, but then they have 95 leads that didn't. So this is going to engage them to dig deep and get another 5 or 10, however many, to go ahead and engage so you can start that process. So it doesn't really matter whether your sales cycle is a week or whether your sales cycle is a year. This is to get it to the start.
Right, thank you. And the other thing I'll comment as well, I get this comment all the time throughout my career. People say, well, sales is a 10-3-1 rule. Make 10 calls, get 3 meetings, get 1 close. My view is that's 90% of the time it's been wasted. It's like they're just going to cut right through that.
That's exactly right. So you're going to be able to identify and get that 3. You're going to get 10 instead of 3. It'll be 10, 6, 2, whatever the case may be. Fully automated without having to employ more people, and the people that you do employ are going to be able to make more than ever before. The people that I have left in my company, more than double their salaries because they're on commission, and now they're doing the work that used to take 16. It's being done with 3, so they're seeing the benefit of that.
The commissions haven't been cut, right?
Commissions have not been cut. People have been let go. Commissions stayed the same. Anything else? All right, well, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your dinner, and please stop by 3.